Welcome back to NewsMaker Live with Laura. If it's Wednesday, it's NewsMaker Live, where we make your stories our stories. This evening, before I go into this evening, last week's show was so I didn't expect to get the amount of comments that I did about last week's show. With sisterhood and the jazz sampler, the countdown to the jazz sampler. Then just fast forward a little bit to Saturday. What an event! The jazz sampler has grown so much in terms of its presentation, in terms of the production, in terms of what is on offer. Wonderful. Good job, sisterhood. Even the head of the St. Lucia Tourist Board, Lou Luis, was saying that the jazz sampler, and I think he said it beautifully, was the unofficial opening of jazz. And I cannot disagree. I cannot agree more with him, because it was just fantastic. So if you missed it, you missed out on a great show, great event, well put together. But guess what? This was just the beginning, and there's more jazz to come. So this evening on All That Jazz, with me as my guest is Ms. Dahlia God, who is the special events manager at the St. Lucia Tourist Board. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about this unforgettable journey that we're taking this year, 25 years of the Jazz and Arts Festival. Welcome, Dahlia.
Thank you, Laura. Good night to your viewers. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for being here. I know it was very difficult to get somebody from the St. Lucia Tourist Board here this evening, because everybody seems to be traveling, doing God knows what. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, you're not getting any of us now, because it's a busy time for us. It's almost 2 weeks before we get into the official opening of the festival, which is April 29th. So we're busy. John Emmanuel, who is the marketing, the PR communications manager, he's actually in Martinique doing some last-minute promotions. I actually join them tomorrow. So everybody's out working really hard, so we're busy. But we're getting ready to stage the 25th anniversary of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, and we're actually getting ready to stage the biggest, what we call the biggest festival regionally. We're proud about it, and it's true.
Is it really the biggest, though?
It is. It's actually, the region can boast couple festivals, but within time, couple festivals have stopped. Some have dropped on the wayside, that we see. Some have continued. This year, Jamaica Jazz and Blues didn't come out. Barbados has had a festival, and I don't think it's consistent like ours. Tobago is there. They've been on and off pretty much. But we've been doing the Jazz Festival for 25 years, and we're very much doing a very good job at it.
Have we ever stopped? I think it's been an unbroken 25 years. So it really is an unforgettable journey, isn't it?
Unforgettable journey. Yes.
Now, Dahlia, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you a question. Last year, I mean, it just seems to be, and I hope it's not a developing trend. I hope it's not going to be something that we're going to be looking forward to every time it's jazz. But last year, we had the chikungunya situation, and that broke out directly after jazz. And this year, we have the Zika virus, which is coming just before jazz. How is the tourist board preparing for that, and how are you handling that situation? I can imagine it's something that's a little bit ticklish for you.
I mean, it's not the first time something like that would have come up, but in instances like that, the St. Lucia Tourist Board work in partnership with the other agencies to ensure that there's a plan in place and everything is ready for jazz. And this is what is going to happen this year.
Right. So you don't anticipate a drop in visitors or anything like that, because I think some countries have been cautioning persons there, the citizens, not to travel to Zika zones. So how do we think
while that is happening, we are still feeling the buzz and the interest as it pertains to the Jazz and Arts Festival. So I'm guessing time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah. Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about the opening of jazz. I mean, this is an anticipated grand party for most St. Lucians. It's one of the events that a lot of St. Lucians can say, okay, I can attend, because it's not prohibitive in terms of price and that kind of thing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so for me, before we get to the opening, for the 25th anniversary this year, I think this year the festival pretty much has a very, the offering is there's something for everybody to do. From April 29th to May the 8th, it is 10 days of, and sometimes we don't check it, but it's actually 10 days of pulsating music, it's 10 days of the arts featured, it's 10 days of things to do. And so from April 29th, when we go to the Marshall, to the Marshall grounds and stuff, and we ring that bell and we start with the festival, from after that there is something every day for you to do until May the 8th. So St. Lucians and patrons can look forward to that. So we start on April 29th. And so last week or 2 weeks ago, we would have mentioned who the cast is. And so for the cast this year, the headliner is, dancehall reggae superstar Movado. And it also features for the soca segment that a lot of St. Lucians look out for, it also features a lot of local talent. And I'm saying local talent because for this year, we're very proud to say that we're featuring local talent, more specifically in that of the soca artists. In the past, we would have featured more of the soca artists regionally, but not we've come to realize, but it is. We can boast and we can say that our local St. Lucian groovy artists, soca artists in general, in the recent years, they're doing very well. And in the lights of, Arthur and C. Dale and Wildfire and Ezra and Mysterio and all of them, they put out very good music, and they put out music that, in our opinion, is pretty much on par with the region. So for this year, we're featuring a lot of our soca artists. We also will feature DYP in a old school. We want to cater for everybody.
Now, darling, you're dating us, and I say us because I'm not going to be in this by myself. When you start talking about DYP old school, I mean,
right.
Yes. What's up with that?
DYP will be featured a little differently in the opening of the festival. DYP has said that they're going to be doing an old school segment, and it'll almost be a DYP featuring Love in There, DYP versus Love in There segment. I'm excited about that. I look forward to seeing, what they come up with. And we also have Lyrical coming out of Trinidad. We have a DJ clash between Hollywood HP and Hyper D as well. So there's quite a bit of, artists being featured. The event itself is lending itself to different things. So you have a DJ clash, you have the old school thing between DYP and Love in There, you have our local groovy artists holding up, you have Lyrical joining us, you also have, you listen to Movado. So there's a lot going on in terms of the opening, Laura.
Wonderful. I mean, anybody who has watched this show over the past year would know that I love anything and everything local. I mean, I'm very hard on our people because I think we can do so much more. I do not stand for mediocrity, but I must admit I share your enthusiasm when it comes to the soca genre, because it has been, and I think it has started a few years ago, but really and truly the past couple of years has really culminated all of the hard work that some of the artists from before have put into this thing. So tell me, who are some of the artists that are going to be on?
Some of the artists featured this year, we have Nerdy. Nerdy is new. I know Nerdy sang Down in the Mang, is it last year? And he's upcoming, and he has this energy about him. You have Arthur Ale, who's also our groovy monarch for 2 years now. Arthur Ale is pretty much consistent from the time Arthur has come out. You can expect, something different from him. I think in terms of when he just started, he's grown very well, and you can see him going in that, that direction.
And Arthur is here with us tonight.
Yes, he's professional, he's more confident. You can actually, those who knew Arthur from the beginning to Arthur now, I'm sure share the same sentiments, that joy, that kind of excitement when it comes to Arthur. You have Mysterio, who's doing very well. Mysterio has had almost 4 tracks. And for me, 4 tracks consistently that stand out for Mysterio as well. Mysterio is very talented. We see Mysterio on stage performing. Mysterio writes very well.
And he has grown a lot. I mean, this guy has a voice, obviously. But when he first came on the scene, and when you look at him now, there's been such a vast difference. So, speaking of that, is there anything in terms of an educational component for the artists or for aspiring artists within the jazz?
We do have, the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival does boast an educational component. But most times everybody's so caught up in the music and arts and the noise and everything is going on that we don't. And I think that the tourist board too, we can put a little more emphasis and energy behind the educational component. And in recent years, we've tried to do that by building up an actual educational component. We've had sponsors come on board more specifically for that educational component as well. This year, what we've done as it pertains to the arts, every arts component of the festival must have an outreach/educational program.
Tell us a little bit more about
So,
that.
for example, haute couture. Haute couture is the fashion element of the arts component, but haute couture will have an educational component where cinema productions will have the experts coming in, whether it is designers, models, etc. They will mix and mingle with our people and exchange knowledge. So we'll have that happening. Some of the artists who are coming down, like Chris Standrin, who will be featured at the Windjammer event. Chris Standrin is spending 1 day or 2 with the St. Lucia School of Music. And the plan is that he will work, he plays the guitar, so he will work with these students. And so the students that stand out for him, he's going to challenge some of them to come on to actually play with him at Windjammer.
Wow,
we have Joey Alexander, who is the pianist, who will be featured at Jazz Showcase. He's 13 years old, and he will be spending time with the students at the St. Lucia School of Music as well. In talking to Mr. Richard Payne, he'd say to you that he'd love Joey to talk to the kids because he wants Joey to explain or talk to the kids about staying focused, rehearsing, and getting that skill, getting their talent right. So from the time he saw Joey, you know, Alexander being featured, he was like, Dahlia, how can we have Joey link up with the kids? And most of the artists coming in for the festival are willing and ready to work with our artists. So you will have that type of exchange in the form of, you know, master classes and workshops. We also have the tribute to Virgie Alexander. That has an educational component. It'll feature dancers that Virgie taught before, like Tanya Isaac, Nicole Obertin, and Shakina President. They too, before they leave, they will have a day with the dancers from St. Lucia. And I think the topic is dance as a career. My life as a dancer.
Now, yes, because I wanted to ask about that, because a lot of the times you have people coming in and they do what they have to do and they go out. But our people here, sometimes I think, especially the youth, they're so trapped because they don't know, they're not exposed, they haven't traveled, they don't know what is out there. So it's very important to have these people come in and to showcase, and not just to showcase their talent, but to harness talented individuals in the country and to expose them to a life outside of. That is really something.
And to exchange, and the Jazz Festival does just that. The Arts Village, you may have seen in the Mega J area with all the hoarding and stuff. This is going to be the Arts Village. It'll open from 12 noon to 12 midnight. And so within the course of the day, there's what they call conversations. So every day, for example, if they feature film on that day, conversations and the talk will be an expert talking as it pertains to film. And so if they do spoken word on another day, you will have an expert within spoken word, you know, coming to talk about that. So throughout the festival, there's a lot of education going on as well.
Is that a new feature this year, or is it just a new location?
The Arts Village, we've had the visual exhibition, we've had Blue Session, we've had all of that, but it's the first time that we've actually created a home for the arts.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
so
home, it's space.
Wonderful. Now we're due for a break. When we come back, we have some giveaways, Dali. Should we do a giveaway now?
Why not?
Okay. Beautiful. I know now you don't have an earpiece, but that's okay. I'll just, when the callers call in, I'll just tell you what they're saying. So we're going to have a giveaway. Right now, we're going to do a giveaway before we go on break. And the first question will be, what shall we ask? Right. Name 4, let's say, oh my gosh, we have a call already. Name 4 of the, not the arts events, name the lineup for Sunday's Jazz. How about that? Yeah? The lineup for Sunday's Jazz. We have a call online. Thank you for calling NewsMaker Live with Laura. You on the air? Okay, we lost that call. Do we have another call? No? Okay, so the question again is name Sunday's lineup. Thank you for calling NewsMaker Live. You're on the air. Hello? Okay, so we keep losing. Should we go on break? Yeah? Okay, so we'll go on break. We have a call. Thank you for calling NewsMaker Live with Laura. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi. Good night. Did you hear the question?
Yes.
Yes. So what's the answer?
Ronald Bohingson.
Ronald
George
Bohingson.
Benson,
Just one at a time, please. Ronald Bohingson.
George Benson.
George Benson.
Air Supply.
Air Supply.
Cool and the Gang.
Cool and the Gang.
TBA.
TBA?
Well, I don't know.
We're not we're not laughing at you. We're really truly laughing with you, because for a minute there I thought that was an artist.
Pardon?
So is
Mark
this
Anthony?
No, I'm sorry, you didn't get the right answer, so you need to call back.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, so the question is, name the jazz lineup for Sunday's event. We have another call. Thank you for calling NewsMaker Live with Laura. You're on the air.
Good night.
Good night.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Good night.
Good night.
Yes.
Yeah. The lineup for Sunday.
Yes.
We have Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony.
We have Cool and the Gang.
Cool and the Gang.
We have Air Supply.
Air Supply.
And George Benson.
And George Benson.
Yeah.
Is he correct?
One more.
There's one missing.
What's his name? Bohingson.
Bohingson.
Yeah.
And you're very correct. So you've just won our first prize. I can't even tell you what it is right now, but you just give us your name and number, and listen up a little later. Throughout the show, we'll tell you exactly what your prize is. But if you give us your name and number, we will tell you.
I know the host also.
You know the host.
I know the person I'm speaking right now. With you right now.
You know the
cousin.
Now Dahlia, he should have never said that, because I think I'm going to have to disqualify him, right?
Why?
Except Dahlia didn't even know the question, so so you get to stay on. Just hold on a minute. We'll take your name and number off the air, and we'll tell you how to collect your prize.
Okay.
All right.
Bye bye.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's a good thing, because you didn't know the question, right? So he gets to one thing. So we're due for a break. When we come back, we'll have another guest with us, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.